following is a podcast from thefinalsprint.com, the internet's premier running, fitness, and nutrition publication. Start here, finish strong.
What's the running community like in Grand Rapids? Is it real big, or is it just kind of small and passionate?
It's amazing to me. When I run with the Grand Rapids Running Club, and when we started putting this together, I started finding out there's a whole lot more people than the Grand Rapids Running Club that are running in Grand Rapids. And there's really a couple in the periphery. There's a couple of other running clubs, North Kent and out in Cascade, and Mars Hill, who's a church group that's got a big running club.
Oh, really?
And then there's just all the clubs. Everybody's got their noon runners and their guys that get together at the club afterwards, and they're all putting on training sessions. And it's amazing how big the running community is in Grand Rapids. I mean, I see people all over the place. Oh yeah, I'm from Grand Rapids. I've never seen them before. And you would think it's not that small of a town, or that big of a town, that I wouldn't at least have a little bit of a clue. And it's amazing how active the running is in Western Michigan.
It's very impressive. So when did the race start, and how many people did it begin with, and how many entrances does it have now?
We started in 2004. That was our first one. We have a full marathon and a half. And combined total, we had like 900 people the first year. We had somewhere around 12 the second year, and we had over 1,400 finishers the third year. We had about 1,600 registrations.
That's great.
The third year. So we're growing very rapidly. We're expecting close to 2,000 people this year.
That's great.
And it's turning into a great event. And if you read our reviews, say on Marathon Guide, or you can read our website, because I post them on there, people are overwhelmingly love what we're doing out there.
That's great. So how does Boston compare to a lot of the other places you've done? And I know it doesn't have the scenery of Big Sur or in Colorado, but I mean, how many Bostons have you ran now?
This will be my third Boston. Okay. I was here in '96 for the 100th, and then I was here a couple years ago. But Boston, compared to other marathons, first of all, Boston is like Mecca. I mean, if you're Islam, you make a pilgrimage to Mecca once in your lifetime. If you're a marathon runner, you make a pilgrimage to Boston. And and that's what it is. There's a reverence here. I mean, it's a weekend-long party, but it's also, everybody knows there's a marathon in Boston. And if you say you're a marathon runner, somebody says, have you run Boston? And it's the first thing they think of, because everybody knows about the Boston Marathon.
That's true.
And aside from that, it's one of the most organized things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, they're pretty good at what they do.
Closing down all those towns and everything. I look at this and I have nightmares thinking about what would I do if Grand Rapids got to be 20,000 people. Like, how in the world would I handle something like that?
You shouldn't have a much bigger staff to help you, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm going to have to get me a paid hired staff and a whole lot more sponsors to do something like that. But it's a wonderful place. It's an amazing marathon, and the history here is just inspiring to me.
Sure. Have you ran Chicago and New York or Marine Corps also?
I've run Chicago several times. I've run Marine Corps once. Then I started putting a marathon on the same day. Huh. And in fact, I'm going back to Chicago again this year as a pacer.
Oh, really?
And I did that a couple years ago. That was really fun.
Sure.
And aside from the fact you get the free shoes and clothes and stuff, but it's fun being out there and helping other people achieve what they're trying to do. Pull them through, encourage them, keep them from quitting when they happen to feel like it at 20 miles and say, I just can't do this. Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
it's in you. You got lots more in you than you
Come on, you get to 20 miles. That's like, you have to be, a train would have to be in front of me for me not to finish. I mean,
if you got to drag yourself through it, you do it.
Yeah, no, certainly. How do you find that Boston, in terms of the crowd, compares to, let's say, Chicago, Marine Corps, and have you not done New York yet?
I haven't done New York City. I've done Chicago, Marine Corps. The crowd support is amazing in Boston. I've done, especially, all the towns along the way, and Wellesley, of course, big reputation, all the girls screaming at you, and that's kind of cool. It's just a guy thing.
Don't turn an ankle, though.
No, you just kind of, but you go through that, and all the little towns and everything, and, the historical aspect of it, run by Johnny Kelly statue and all that, and coming into downtown, the support is amazing. And, it compares favorably. Chicago, similar type of stuff, not quite the history, but the big city feel and all the neighborhoods and all that.
Sure.
I love big city marathons because of that, because you've got crowd support everywhere. As opposed to Antarctica, when the crowd support consisted of a couple of chin-strap penguins and a couple of seals. It's a little different atmosphere.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm sure. No, that sounds great. You really run all over the place. You got to hook up with Dean Carnacius again now, and just go cross country, go throughout Latin America, which I hear he's thinking about maybe doing now. But no, that sounds great. Very nice. Were you able to raise any money for the charities through your Around the World trek?
You know, I don't have any good reports from the charities yet. I know they've been using my trip as publicity for it, but really it's, and we'll be doing more speaking engagements and so on, and pulling some people in and letting them know what actually happened. But both the charities I'm working with are fairly new and fairly not, or they're really not that attuned to how the whole fundraising thing works. And I'm kind of the same way with that. And I'm going to learn and get good at it before I get done with it. But you know, I'm not there yet.
Oh, it's okay. We'll just have to make you go around the world again. I'm sure you wouldn't have any objections.
Wouldn't be surprised that might happen. You never know.
Oh, yeah. I had a feeling it might happen after you found out about Richard. Still the American record holder. It's great, but I had a feeling you might try this one more time.
Yeah, well, you know, Richard kind of snuck in on me, and I'm glad he did. I mean, I'm glad that he didn't tell me what was going on. And I have absolutely zero problem. I mean, if I had found out somebody was going to do it faster than me, I'd have tried to reschedule mine too.
Yeah.
And you know, he did what he had to do, and I'm cool with that. He and I are friends. We ran. In fact, we ran and were chit-chatting during a couple different marathons. And I went back reviewing my pictures, and in Egypt, I have a really nice picture of him running. I turned around and took a shot of the people behind me, and I said, "Oh, there's a picture of Richard there."
Very nice.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. So you know, best of luck to him, and I'm glad he did what he did. He's inspired me. I'm still, you know, maybe I'll get the world record one of these days. Maybe I'll get another world record, but there'll be one someplace. I'm working on growing my fingernails at the moment, but we'll see how that goes.
That sounds great. Well, congratulations on 50 consecutive months, and can't wait to cover you when you get to 100 straight months of doing this. Real impressive consistency and dedication. Thanks.
Thanks.